My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. This is the only channel dedicated to UFC fight picks and DraftKings lineups run by MMA insiders and professional fighters. Every week, I join Dan Kramer and Nick Newell, two longtime professional fighters that have fought at the highest levels on the planet, as well as Jacob Lyons, a skinny kid from Indiana. So join us every single week for our full fight card breakdowns, our individual fight card breakdowns, our betting guide, and our DraftKings lineups. UFC Vegas 35 is this weekend. It is also the Ultimate Fighter 29 finale. So we have a unique situation where we have a fight night and an Ultimate Fighter smashed together. We're going to walk through our thoughts, our lineups. You don't need to copy our lineups. We're just walking through what we like, who we like, why we like them. Let's just jump right in. I will go first. Right out of the gate, I like Daniel Rodriguez. Daniel Rodriguez is a decent underdog. He is $7,700. I would have liked to spend less money than that, but he's still a decent underdog. He has really good boxing. You know, his takedown defense is okay, but Kevin Lee, his opponent, has two busted up knees. I think he's just sort of aging out in his career. He's coming up in weight. So Daniel Rodriguez will be bigger, have better striking, hopefully the takedown defense, and I think he gets it done. $7,700. I needed a couple of underdogs here. Then I have Edson Barboza in the main event. I personally like Edson Barboza in that fight. You can do what you want to do. It's a razor thin fight. Watch our full fight breakdowns to get, the complete insight here. But at $8,200, it's basically, even money pick 'em. And Edson Barboza has experience for days. That dude has fought every single person in this weight class, had success against some, lost against some, but has fought at the highest level. His opponent is an absolute killer. But I think Edson has more ways to win. He's the better grappler. Striking's probably even. Edson has more experience. Edson has leg kicks. I like Edson Barboza in this fight. You can jump on the other side because it is a razor thin fight. Then I have Murdov over Mearshart. I think this is a beating. Mearshart has very, very good jiu-jitsu. Unfortunately for him, he has no way to get it there. He doesn't have wrestling. He doesn't have takedowns. He can't get it to the ground. Once it's there, he shines. Murdov is an unbelievable boxer. He has very clean, crisp boxing. He also works in leg kicks. He keeps it standing. He hasn't been taken down yet in the UFC, not one time. So I think he keeps it standing. I think he absolutely hammers away at Mearshart on the feet and gets a stoppage. $9,300 is a lot of money to spend, but I do like that. Then I have Abdul Razak Al Hassan over DiChirico. This is a tricky one. I mean, he's an underdog. He's a big underdog. And the problem is when I did my budget here, I only had a little bit of money to spend, and he's the only underdog that I think can get it done. So Abdul Razak Al Hassan is a striker. But the thing is, he's not. He's a very good jiu-jitsu or judo practitioner, except he fell in love with striking. He leans on his striking. He gets sucked into striking battles, and then he loses some of those striking battles. This is not a fight that he wants to get sucked into a striking battle. It just isn't. But he might, and that's the concern. But if he leans on his judo and uses the grappling, gets it to the ground, I think he wins this fight pretty cleanly. It'll literally be the first fight ever that he will win outside of the first round if he does that. So within my budget, I think he made sense here. He's certainly live for a finish. I mean, he's got 10 first-round finishes under his belt. Then I have Brian Battle over Urbina in the co-main event, which is also the TUF finale. Brian Battle earned his way there. He is the actual finalist. Urbina stepped up on short notice because there was an injury. He lost in the semifinals, but he's still jumping into the finals. At the end of the day, these are two inexperienced guys, so it is really hard to be 100% positive. Neither one are UFC ready, honestly, in my opinion, but I do think Brian Battle is just that much better than Urbina. I think he gets a finish. I'm very confident in him winning this fight, even with the relative little experience. And then I have Dustin Jacoby over Darren Stewart. Dustin Jacoby is a professional Muay Thai kickboxer. Dustin Jacoby has proven that he can take that Muay Thai kickboxing bring it into a UFC cage, mix in some takedowns, and become a true mixed martial artist. He's done it time and time again. Darren Stewart is tough. We've seen his chin get tested, and he was on the wrong side of it. We've seen him get out grappled. Dustin Jacoby can do all of those things. I have him winning this fight. I did not spend mind spending the $8,800. That's my lineup. Those are my thoughts. Make your own decisions. Jacob,
let's do it.
Go ahead and build yours.
Yeah, I'm going to hypothetically build a lineup that I may or might not use, and I wouldn't recommend anyone else to use it.
These are our disclaimers, by the way.
Yeah, you got to make your own choices out here. This is just the choices that I may or may not be making. So let me start off with the main event. I think you nailed it, Angelo. Whichever one you think is going to be the winner in that matchup, I think you should put that person in your lineup because 5 rounds, this is going to be high volume. And this actually, I have Giga, so you can place him in there. If this was a 3-round fight, I don't know if I would pick Giga. Even though I think that Giga would win, even if it's 3 rounds, I think that he's going to win with the harder shots, not the volume. But with 5 rounds, I think the volume is going to be there for the points to justify the 8,000. But if this was a 3-round, I might stay away from it. So that's how much that kind of the 5 rounds, 3 rounds kind of matters, and especially in DraftKings. So I like Giga in this matchup with the more powerful shots. Next, I'm going with Pretty Ricky. Blue Stars Hotline, one of the best albums of all time. I mentioned the breakdown. This guy is just so much fun to watch. The way he switches stances. I mentioned the breakdown, his defensive movement. He is against a grappler who I think is underrated in this matchup. If he gets his hands on Pretty Ricky, it could be problems. Pretty Ricky's pretty good on the ground, but I think he could be dominated if he gets his hands on. I just think his movement's going to be too much in this matchup against Brady. And he's just so much fun to watch. So when I build lineups too, it's fun to have someone that's fun to watch in your lineups. That's kind of how I pick lock of the week sometimes too. It's just I want somebody that's fun to watch. So next I have Muradov in my lineup. Do you have Muradov? You have
yeah, I do.
Anna Martinez, right? But you don't have Muradov?
Correct. I have Muradov instead of Mana Martinez.
Muradov. Not
Muradov, yeah.
Yeah, Muradov. Yeah, so I Muradov. I listen, I think this is the last test for him for the UFC to.
I thought you had a cat. I was like, do you have a cat?
I saw that in my own camera, and I was like, what the hell was that? It's like a Black Panther in here. Jesus. Listen, I think this is one of the last kind of, let's see if you are really good matchups for Muradov, and I think he's going to absolutely dominate Gerald. I think he's going to get a top 10, top 15 guy after this. So I like him in this matchup, and I like him to dominate. Next is going to be the lock of the week. Listen, we came off a huge victory. Everyone was starting to doubt me. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. You can't get fooled again. So, Pat Sabatini is my lock of the week. This guy is I'll write it down right now. Clip this and save it for 2 years from now. Pat Sabatini will be the featherweight champion of the world. I love his mentality. I love his abilities. I know that Emmers is a wrestler and a grappler in his own right, but I just think that Sabatini is able to wear him down, get the fight to the ground, and submit him. I have inside the distance. I have money line. I have all sorts of bets on Pat Sabatini. That's how confident I am in lock of the week. You guys know lock of the week. When I win one, it's not back and forth. I win one, and we're going 20, 30, 40 in a row. I'm not seeing a loss till 2030 probably. So that's my lock of the week this week, Pat Sabatini. Next is Maynard Martinez. This dude is 135 and hits like a 205. He's going to go lights out on Guido. Guido is flat-footed, 41 years old. His last shot that he ate was just like a telegraph little check left hook. I love Martinez to just absolutely demoralize Guido in this matchup to get the knockout. And now I have $7,100 left over. What are you laughing about?
There's not a lot of options. Let's see what your options are. Your options are Mearshart, Gilmore, or Demopoulos.
And we're going with Ryan Hall, Vanessa Demopoulos to get the heel hook victory. I'm looking for prop bets. If anyone out there wants to give me a prop bet and give me the odds for a heel hook victory, she's going to Imanari roll into JJ Aldridge and get the submission win. I have a submission bet on her. This is Ryan Hall reincarnated. She is gonna make up. I don't want any more Ryan Hall slander when she Imanari rolls and get the submission win. That's gonna make up for all the Ryan Hall nonsense I keep getting. By the way, Ryan Hall is like one of the most talented fighters in the UFC.
Okay. All right.
I won't go into it, but this is my lineup that I made on my own. Please don't use it. This is just, what I'm doing for fun. I probably won't even use this. I don't even know why I made it. Blah, blah, blah.
All right. So before we move on, the last thing I'll mention, we got questions during our earlier live stream, and it is an interesting point. Do you double up the main event? And I think this is a fight where you can double up the main event only if you're doing 50-50s and double ups. If you're doing full-blown tournaments, you're trying to win 100 grand, you can't get a loss. You need to be 6-0 unless this is a card where every single favorite wins, then you'll squeeze a loss in there. But, I think if you're doing 50-50s and double ups, I think that main event is fireworks. I think we can get 60, 70 points out of a loser. So the main event may be a double up fight when the money is dead even like that. You agree?
I 100% agree.
All right. Well, WeWantPicks.com/DraftKings. Jump into our league. Play. It is a free league. It costs you nothing, but if you win the league, we'll send you some money if you're a subscriber. We'll send you even more money if you're a member. Thanks for watching. Let us know your thoughts below. And we'll see you Saturday for a live stream.